Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm always just gonna laugh when I do that. But I don't know, man. I kind of thought it was funny that I'm about to react to this video because on my way to the house, something had tickled me. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody was like, just that's like being a murderer and being like, oh, but I believe in Jesus and Jesus is gonna save me. I'm gonna go to heaven. Then I thought to myself, I was like, Epstein was Jewish and he was out here touching the kids. And next thing you know, I see this video with Dr. Evil, Bill Gates. He has to explain his Epstein allegations, right? I think they forgot. I think whoever this is coming, like whoever put this out, you know what I'm saying? I think they think we forgot about this. You know what I'm saying? I think they think that we forgot that Bill Gates was running around with Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, Trump, Gates, Clinton, all of Prince. Not Prince. The Prince. What's his name? Prince Edward. All of them was running around with this dude, man. Especially Dr. Evil Bill Gates. I'm telling you, he's Dr. Evil. I don't believe nothing that this man says. I don't believe in any philanthropy that he has done. I don't believe in nothing that he says. I actually feel like he is trying to depopulate the earth because he's always said that we have an overcrowding problem where there's tons of places and tons of spaces where there are people that are not on this earth that people are not using. But he's trying to tell us we have an overpopulation problem. I don't believe him. He buys up all this farmland, but he a billionaire, right? Ain't nothing on those farmlands. Ain't nobody getting no free chickens. Ain't nobody getting no free produce. Nothing. He just buying the farmlands just to buy it. You know what I'm saying? He's Dr. Evil. I'm trying to tell y'all, he is not here for nothing. And I bet you he was touching the kids just like Jeffrey. So let's see what this is all about. You know what I'm saying?
It's helpful to the important work of the committee to find justice for the victims.
That's right. Something you may have been waiting for if you've been following the Jeffrey Epstein saga. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates just sat down for an interview with the House Oversight Committee. What did he say? What does it mean when you look at the released Epstein files? Let's get into it. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Oh, by the way, before we get into this, did you know that Father's Day is like right around the corner? And if you're looking for a gift, I feel like a lot of you are, if you're looking for a gift for all the dads out there, I want you to meet the Chef IQ Sense Smart Meat Thermometer. This is the secret to stress-free restaurant-level cooking. So whether you're a seasoned grill master, you're just trying to throw on some steaks for the summer, the Smart Thermometer, it is a game changer. There's no more overcooking. There's no more, I think this might be done. No. Chef IQ tells you exactly when your meat is ready every step of the way. You just insert the wireless probe, you select your preferences, then you just hang out, you relax while you wait for the app alerts without having to, hover over the grill. It works with ovens, smokers, stovetops, air fryers, and it's for every protein, from prime rib to wings to salmon. Seriously, this Father's Day, it's time to raise the stakes, no pun intended, and cook with confidence. Use code SIDEBAR for 40% off site-wide at chefiq.com. I have never...
Well, I know you probably was like, yo, why did he just show us that commercial without skipping through it? I'm reacting to his content. I could at least help him plug, get a little extra love, you know what I'm saying? Get a little extra love to the plug, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully somebody plugs me in the future, you know what I'm saying? But now, back to what we talking about, Dr. Evil, you feel me?
Victimized anyone.
He lying.
Those were the words of Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates yesterday as he went up to Capitol Hill and testified, sat down for an interview about Jeffrey Epstein. And this just added a whole new dimension to this story. This is a big deal. He's arguably one of the most high-profile people to be questioned in the Epstein case. Now, there have been other ones that we'll talk about, but this is significant. And I do want to get into what he reportedly said, even though, to be clear, this was a closed-door session. We don't have the transcript. We don't have the audio. We don't have the video at the time of this broadcast. But what we do have is reporting on what he said. And we're going to put it into context with what the Epstein files themselves reveal about Bill Gates' apparent relationship or connection or association with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, we know that the House Oversight Committee has been investigating the Jeffrey Epstein story, right? The deceased financier who is set to face a federal sex trafficking trial in New York before he died.
Wait, what is this photo of? Yo, that's wild. I'm trying to see what the photo is, but, I guess.
His jail cell back in 2019. The question now is, who knew what? What was Epstein up to? Did anyone help, facilitate, know about, encourage, aid him in what he was accused of doing? Is the system a problem? Did the system allow him to operate and to do what he was accused of doing?
Yeah.
Was he given any kind of protection? Is there anyone else out there who needs to be held accountable? And when it comes to Bill Gates, it has been reported for quite some time that he and Epstein had a connection. There is even at least one photo of them together. Gates' name has come up most recently in the Epstein files that were released as part of the Epstein files.
Yeah, look, they acting like, they was just beer buddies and they was just kicking it. You was doing something with Jeffrey, bro. Like, straight up.
Transparency Act, which I'm going to get into. Now, to be clear, and I have to be extremely clear about this, okay? An association, a picture together, an email correspondence, it doesn't mean that someone committed a crime or was aware of illegal activity. Gotta be clear about that. There's nothing that suggests that Bill Gates committed a crime or knew about illegal activity.
Right.
He's not been charged with a crime
at all.
But let me just get into what he said on Capitol Hill.
What
Again,
he say?
Significant. And actually, we did
get
this snippet from Bill Gates.
Like, I hear what homie's saying, right? But there's no possible way that they're bringing you on Capitol Hill and bringing you they're investigating you to where you didn't do something with this man. There's no way. There's no way. You had to have did something.
Before he even went in for his interview behind closed doors. Take a look.
Glad to be here voluntarily to testify to help with the committee's work. I'll start with an opening statement in the hearing room. I hope my testimony is helpful to the important work of the committee to find justice for the victims. Thank you.
So what did he say? Well, according to reporting from multiple outlets, because again, no audio, no video, no transcript has been released at this time.
And that's the key. That's the key. They not bro, nothing's gonna happen to Bill Gates. Like, you're not about to see Bill Gates get locked up. We can get this out the way. They're not about to lock up Dr. Evil. That's why there was no tapes, no nothing that's going on in this probe that they doing, right? Like, low key, they probably just sat down. I was like, all right, bro, what's good? There's nothing that's gonna happen to this man. But I'm telling you, it's just in my spirit. I'm telling you guys, this dude was out here touching the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Gates said to the committee, quote, "I never witnessed nor had any indication that Epstein was engaged in ongoing criminal conduct. I never went to his island, his ranch, or his Florida home. I have never victimized anyone. While he may have sought to foster a personal relationship, I was never interested in that and never reciprocated. I learned Epstein had become aware of sensitive information about my personal life, including the fact that I had been unfaithful in my marriage. These affairs had nothing to do with my interactions with Epstein, but they were painful for my family." And to be clear, there's nothing that conflicts that, right? There's no definitive proof that Gates ever visited any of those properties. There's no evidence that Gates ever sexually abused anyone. And this idea of blackmail is interesting because Gates did admit to having extramarital affairs. Quote, "As the public can now see, based on what has been released in the files, Epstein was working to use information about my infidelities, in addition to many lies that he layered on top, to pressure me to re-engage with him. He was unsuccessful in this effort, but it shows some of the ways he tried to leverage his interactions with me to further his agenda."
What's the agenda?
Gates acknowledged that meeting with Epstein was a, quote, "grave error in judgment. I should never have met with Epstein in the first place." Now, in terms of what that relationship actually was, Gates reportedly said, quote, "My interactions with Epstein began with a limited number of preliminary meetings, 3 in 2011 and 2 in 2012, during which I talked about the goals of my work. We began more extensive conversations in 2013 and 2014. The discussions focused on identifying potential giving structures, such as donor-advised funds, and how to enroll individuals he claimed were interested in making significant contributions." So this
To
is
what?
about philanthropy, right?
What
Gates
philanthropy?
reportedly told lawmakers that it wasn't as if he was friends with Epstein, right? They didn't socialize. They didn't hang out beyond dinners. Again, what he claims was about philanthropic work. And he also made it clear that there were no girls or young women that were around. So to clarify about this, Gates reportedly said that he was...
He a philanthropic lie. You telling me you were just meeting up for donors? Where is this work? Where's the philanthropy at? Where? You know what I'm saying? Like, I see so much going on. I'm living in California. There's homeless people everywhere. We seen Seattle. Seattle is, because that's where you're from. Seattle is horrible. Where is this philanthropy at? Where?
Using Epstein to secure wealthy donations for his philanthropic work in public health.
Why does a rich man need more wealthy donors? Why does the richest man on the planet need more donors? I don't get it.
And when it seemed like that wasn't going to happen, that it wasn't going to go anywhere, that's when he claims he cut ties with Epstein. And then that is when he says Epstein fired back, tried to use Gates' affairs to pressure him into re-engaging with him. Here's the big issue, okay? This is the big problem for Bill Gates. And we've had this conversation with other people before, right? Gates, like others, had a connection with Jeffrey Epstein after Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty to sex crimes charges in Florida in that whole 2008 sweetheart plea deal. Guilty of solicitation of a minor for prostitution. That was known. So, of course, the question is, why did you maintain contact with him? Why did you even have contact with him? Now, Gates reportedly told the committee, quote,
Look, oh, what you saw?
"I recall being aware that Epstein had faced prior legal issues, but I did not fully understand the extent of the crimes he committed. I accepted the introduction without applying the scrutiny I should have." And what's...
Look, because I don't think the case where he pled guilty to the prostitution was like child prostitution. You feel me? Just because a man got hoes don't mean that I'm not gonna do business with him. Now, why he need more wealthy donors than that's just my thing. Why do you need more wealthy donors than you're the richest man on the planet? What donors do you need? Like, I don't get it. What do you, how much money do you need, Bill? So you just telling me that you're going to this man, Jeffrey Epstein, to get more contacts from more donors? Nah, I'm not believing it when you're the richest man on the planet. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's like a man who owns an ocean that wants to go and put his yacht. He want to put his yacht inside your lake. But I got my whole ocean, but I'm going to put my boat inside your lake. It doesn't make any sense.
Interesting about that is that the Wall Street Journal reported that in a 2014 email, there was this medical expert, this associate who had worked for Bill Gates. Her name was Melanie Walker, and somebody who was apparently friends with Epstein. That she warned
that's not Melanie Walker. That's Giselle.
To keep, quote, a healthy distance for anything of a personal nature from Epstein, and that Epstein, quote, appeals to people's weaknesses and proclivities. So,
and that's one of the things I can tell you. Even though he got money, Bill Gates don't got no game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't got no game outside of Melinda. He probably got to pay for it. Bill Gates ain't got no game. He got to pay for it. And guess who got the hoes? Jeffrey. The ones who you could pay for. That makes more sense.
You see why this raises questions.
Yeah.
What has been the reaction so far to this testimony? Well, according to several Democratic members of the committee, Gates was cooperative.
Of course.
But then you have
because he lied.
Representative Tim Burchett, who described the questioning of Bill Gates as, quote, intense. You have Democratic Representative Raja Krishnamurthy, who said that Gates was, quote, combative and quote, not terribly forthcoming or candid.
Exactly.
Representative Robert Garcia said Gates made a, quote, horrific judgment call by associating with Jeffrey Epstein, and also said Gates was, quote, answering the questions. What about Representative Suhas Subramanian? Said, quote, there has been a lot of apologies from Gates. He is sorry he associated with Epstein so much, but in the end, what is done is done. Democratic Representative Melanie Stansberry said Gates acknowledged maintaining contact with Epstein because he thought that his relationship, his connection with Epstein was a, quote, narrow relationship and, quote, an acceptable means to access wealthy donors. But then there's also,
you know, at the end of the day, he's the richest man on the planet. He's one of the smartest men on the planet. We ain't got no evidence that Bill was doing things with it. We just have to go on our judgment that, come on, Bill, you was not just around him to get wealthy donors when you're the richest man on the planet. It doesn't make any sense. That's why I'm saying, like, it's an evil guy. Like, you the richest man on the planet. Why do you need more donors? Why do you need more money? What do you need this money for? And it makes me think that it's not philanthropic. It's not philanthropic. It has nothing to do with philanthropy. It's all a business deal. And a lot of times, these nonprofit deals, these philanthropic deals that they're talking about, it's all for profit. It's all for tax purposes. That's it. That's why he needs these extra donors. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, at all. It doesn't, no, at all. Nothing that he was doing with Jeffrey Epstein was for the betterment of anybody. He was probably out there trying to get his little dingling wet. That was it. And hey, you know any donors? Hey, you know, he might run into somebody on the island. There goes the donors. You know what I'm saying? They got the flight logs. You know you've been on the island. And you wasn't just on the island eating fruit.
this Bill Gates.
But that's all they got on him, though. That's what I'm saying. He's smart. They got him on the flight logs. You know, you got a couple text messages, but it's not like you discussing anything. That's why he can deny most of this. And being combative, like, yeah, I'm going to be combative because I'm not about to tell you the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Spokesperson who released a statement on Wednesday. I'm going to read it to you. It says, quote, as Mr. Gates has consistently stated and reiterated to the House Oversight Committee, he never witnessed nor had any indication of Epstein's ongoing criminal conduct.
He didn't know that.
He visited Epstein's island, his ranch or Florida home, and has never victimized anyone. When asked about photos in which he appeared with women in Epstein's orbit, Mr. Gates noted that none of them participated in his meetings with Epstein. They were not introduced to him by name or role and had no substantive interaction.
They definitely have nothing to do with the business or whatever they was talking about. But you definitely walked away with one of them little hoes. I don't care.
With him beyond being asked by Epstein to stand for a photograph. Mr. Gates expressed sadness for the suffering endured by anyone harmed by Epstein's crimes. Now it becomes a question of what are they going to do with this information? What are they going to do with these answers? And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But I want to go back and put this into context, right? I want to go back and put what he said into context with the Epstein files and see what the Gates mentions are. Keep all of this in mind, okay?
Okay.
Now I'm going to start with what could be considered the most unusual one.
What?
You have this draft email. Looks like it's from 2013. Potentially one that Epstein had sent or saved to himself. Mm-hmm. And the argument is, was he sending this to, or planning to send this to an advisor who wanted to leave the Gates Foundation? I'm going to read it to you verbatim. Quote, Dear Bill, I cannot believe that you have chosen to disregard our friendship developed over the last 6 years. I am aware that accidents happen. It is how each of us has chosen to deal with this unfortunate event that has me dismayed beyond comprehension. You have decided to discharge me from my job. Had Larry, your PR person, told me that I engaged in morally inappropriate behavior, asked me to be the major actor in a cover-up so that you can maintain the reputation that you have worked so hard to achieve, asked me to recommit to a confidentiality agreement, and categorically told me that we cannot have any direct ongoing business relationship in total disregard for its impact on the public perception of my reputation, I will have to diligently avoid the truth, tell people that Bill will not invest with me, and craft an answer that suits your needs. But you did agree to send you a letter of recommendation should a future employer ask for one. You have told me that Melinda insists on me not communicating with you unless Larry is copied or present, though you have consistently maintained that I could not have done a better job and that I was underpaid compared to my contribution. You then, beyond all sense of fairness and frankly decency, said that as generous compensation for keeping the Gates reputation intact, you would let me keep what we agreed I had already owned, the investment pieces, and give me 2 years severance. Similar to Christine Turner, another casualty. If the shoe was on the other foot, I would have said, Boris, this is not your fault. I confess to Melinda you didn't. It was in a moment of weakness, and I will do anything within my power to make it right for you. I have more money than anyone needs, and I assure you I will structure something so that you will not be penalized for my error. Lucky for me, I have enough money to provide to you. Though it will not heal the injury, it will make you secure in your future. In addition, I will bend over backwards to make sure your next career is rewarding and on an upswing. I appreciate the fact that this drastically alters your plans, and I'm very aware of the career path you gave up to join the foundation. I am very sorry, but as I believe time heals all wounds, this will eventually pass. In that regard, I suggest I buy you the house that you so had your heart set on, and in addition to 5 years of severance, we'll buy you out of the investment contract. We had agreed 30 to 40% of a $100 million partnership for $30 million in today's dollars, terms and conditions to be agreed. That's what I would have done had I been in your shoes. What I did receive, however, was an unfriendly, strongly worded email telling me how employable I am and that I should not look to you for any significant financial help in the future. To add insult to the injury, you then implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. You request that I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda and the description of your... You also made it clear to me that I am not to refer to redacted, as that is another topic that must remain between the two of us. In return for all of these requests, which I would have done without a second thought, I am not to attend meetings with Melinda. I should continue to provide you the same level of service and dedication that I have done so diligently until you are ready to discard me and our friendship. So, assuming this was from Epstein, he seems to be claiming that Bill Gates was seeking treatment for an STD, that he was going to give what he allegedly had to Melinda. And again, to be clear, we don't know if this was sent. We don't know the circumstances behind.
Man, look. That email said it all. If it was sent, if it was just a draft, it was going to Bill. And it wasn't. And he named Melinda. It ain't Bill Clinton. You know what I'm saying? We talking about Bill and Melinda Gates. He had an STD. Only people that you are very close with will know stuff like that. Not no just random business acquaintance or anything like that. Only people that you really cool and kick it with. How does Jeffrey Epstein know that Bill Gates got an STD? He probably knows where he got the STD from and who he got the STD from. Man, do we need to keep going on? Can I be finished with this? Like, have I made my point? I think I made my point. If you want to watch the rest of this expose, go to my website, Reylo.tv. Go to click on blog, and I got all of my posts. I got blog posts for them. You know what I'm saying? You can watch this. You can watch the rest of this video. You know what I'm saying? You can see what I wrote up. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's your boy Reylo, man. I appreciate you. I'm out of here.